Nope, this isn't bull shark. Bull sharks might actually form social bonds. I think it was Aristotle that said that man is a social animal, and now we kind of think that mammals are social animals, and of course, other creatures probably have some kind of social bonds as well. And a new study shows that bull sharks may actually form long-term companionships, and they kind of favor some individuals and avoid other individuals. And so this is a clue that bull sharks might actually have some kind of social bonds as well. And they're not mammals, so we're not 100% sure what's going on here, but this is a pretty extensive and exciting study. And if another study can confirm this, then it's a really exciting discovery. And I think it's interesting to think about sharks having friends, and the researchers are really careful to say that these are not friendships. That's kind of anthropomorphizing it and putting our human world onto other species. And so we shouldn't do that. And this is one of the things we have to be careful about when we're popularizing science and talking about it as a public and not like an expert in one specific area. You know, they're very careful about not calling it a friendship, but that might be the easiest thing for general population people who are not experts in sharks to understand. And so the Guardian here says that these bull sharks may form friendships with each other, and they put it in quotes because that's easy for us to understand what a friendship is, but that's probably not what the researchers would call it. They would like us to call it companionships. And so we're not sure what that bond actually means, but this study shows that there might be something interesting going on with bull sharks that we didn't know before. And as kind of a person who's interested in social science, I love all the sciences that take a look at human behavior and how we are. This is another look into something similar to what we do that may or may not be anything similar to what we do. And so I think learning about things like this can actually teach us things about ourselves as well, if it's not just that we project everything that we do onto everything else. But anyway, let's read a little bit from this story from The Guardian. It says, not a lone shark. Bull sharks may form friendships with each other, study finds. They reach 3.5 meters long, weigh more than 200 kilograms, and are apex predators. But even apex predators need friends. And according to new research, bull sharks may be capable of making them. A recent study published from Fiji shows that bull sharks develop companionships, with some sharks showing preferences for certain individuals and avoiding others. That's another really interesting thing about this study. I never thought about it this way before, but actually having friends means that you also have other people that you consider not your friends. And obviously, that's a very clear thing to think about, but I never thought about it that way before, which means that if you have friends, there's a lot of people who aren't your friends. That's what having a friend means. It means that person is elevated to a special place in your life. And that also means that other people are lowered or not in that place, at least. They're in some other category in your brain. So I think it's a really interesting way to think about friendship. It also means a lot of people aren't your friends, and maybe that's an even better way to define it. And so apparently, bull sharks do that kind of thing as well, where they avoid some individuals and are kind of companions with others. And this is one of the coolest parts of this study. It's pretty robust because researchers studied data collected over 3,000 shark dives in Fiji's Shark Reef Marine Reserve, one of the world's most sought-after diving destinations. The dives spanned 13 years, so this is a pretty robust study, and noted the behavior of 91 individual bull sharks, clearly distinguishable by external features such as scars and deformed or missing fins. Using a number of statistical approaches, the researchers looked for patterns of associations between sharks that could be explained by factors other than just pure chance. And indeed, the scientists found unequivocal evidence for long-term associations. Some bull shark individuals seem to prefer long-term companions and avoid others, said Dr. Jurg Brunschweiler, an independent shark researcher from Switzerland who designed the study. Working on the large Fiji dataset was really exciting and scientifically important since there's such a big research gap regarding the social behavior of bull sharks, said Dr. Thibaut Bouvereau, and I probably got that name wrong, I'm very sorry, a postdoctoral researcher from the Dauphin Island Sea Lab in the United States and lead author of the study. Bouvereau usually investigates how and why marine mammals create social bonds. So we know that mammals do this. But for this study, he used his social structure analysis skills and applied them to Fiji's bull sharks, which are not mammals. The available long-term data collection gave us a real opportunity to better understand if bull sharks are able to develop social bonds in a provisioned site and how they were affected over time, he said. On the other hand, there are some limitations with the study, as most studies have. It says, however, the fact that the data was collected on baited dives, where the dive companies placed feed into the ocean to attract the sharks to the dive site, should be taken into consideration when analyzing the results, the researchers cautioned. Bull shark presence at the SRMR is driven by spatial aggregation caused by feeding, so we need to be very careful when interpreting our results, Brunschweiler said. Whether the sharks turn up together because they like each other, whether they just happen to live in the vicinity, or whether they share character traits such as boldness and curiosity, which leads them to the provision site, is not clear. The main caveat is that we don't have a control site, Brunschweiler said. For example, if we have two individuals that are observed together at the SRMR more or less regularly, and if they also show up together at another site with the same or similar probability than at the SRMR, then that would make our results much more robust. And it would indicate that there is indeed some level of sociality in this species. But Brunschweiler said that the study provided a solid starting point for future work. Yeah, and if you can do that in an academic setting, that's actually a really big step. He is planning to build on this knowledge with additional analyses. That's great. Future studies will have to identify personality traits of individual sharks, determine how particular traits might influence group formation, construct a bull shark hierarchy to determine rank positions, and then examine that rank stability over time. Both researchers cautioned against overinterpreting the data. Bull sharks cannot be considered a social species like marine mammals or other terrestrial species, such as elephants or chimpanzees. However, it seems that some individuals are capable of developing preferred co-occurrences or affinities and avoidances with some individuals, Bovero said. And while bull sharks form companionships, Brunschweiler does not approve of the term friendships being used in relation to sharks. Friendship is a relationship of mutual affection between people or human beings, not animals, he said. It would be anthropomorphic to speak of friendships here. So there's not going to be a Shark Week Friends show about bull sharks. It's going to have to be called Companions. Not Friends. So sorry, sharks, you're not going to get a show called Friends anytime soon. You'll have to settle for Companions. And with that, I'm Jim Wolf. I post a new video like this talking about a topic like this every single day. Sometimes I talk about science, social science, culture, technology, whatever it is out there in terms of things that we're learning in the world. I share a little piece of learning with you every single day at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. So I want to personally invite you to join me in the next video tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Eastern. And either way, if not, if you just were interested in this topic, that's great as well. And I hope you have an awesome rest of your day.